I tried locating Triss, but the mist disrupts the megascope. There's a weak signal nearby, probably on the other side.
In the Cadweni camp?
You'll have to pass through the mist.
The mist is full of wraiths.
I'll help you. I'm continuously scanning the battlefield. I'll show you the way through. I'll find you when you enter the mist.
Farewell, then.
We still need royal blood.
I know. Henselt.
We need his blood, not his death.
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not a Kingslayer?
Witcher 2, Assassins of Kings, Chapter 2. This is Iorveth's path. Depending on what you did during the trial of Stennis, you may not have to actually do this entire, what this entire video shows. I think you might still have to come here, but it might be for a different reason.
How many more can there be?
So the reason I'm here at the moment is that since Stennis was not killed and he's actually going to get a fair trial, because I went and found all the evidence and gave a good enough speech to the very angry mob, I now have to go to Henselt and get royal blood. Because the ingredients did not say anything about which royal person we needed. It just needed a royal person's blood. And it doesn't even specify how much. I think it implies very little. I think like a single drop is all you need. So now I have to sneak into Henselt's camp, sneak past all of his guards, and convince him to give me some of his blood. The reason I have to sneak is because I am still Geralt here is still considered wanted for the murder of King Foltest. As well, he just counts as an intruder because he doesn't belong to Henselt's army, nor is he working with them. He would be considered working for the enemy, so what guards would actually let him walk into a military encampment with a king staying at it? So yeah, before we even get to that, we need to cross the mist. Crossing the mist is the exact same as when you did it the first time. In this chapter, or on this path. It's slightly different for Roach's path.
I can go no further. If Deathmold senses my presence...
How will I get
Yeah,
back to
soon you'll
I'll wait
find
nearby.
multiple
Hurry.
ways to kind of get into the camp. One of them is you bribe the local prostitutes to get you to a series of caves, I believe. But that costs way too much money for what you're actually getting. So what I do is I sneak through the camp, and actually I end up going through, I believe, the same set of caves. You kind of have to do it no matter what, I believe. So may as well do the way where you don't have to pay anything. And it's not actually very difficult to sneak through the camp. There are a few things that will kind of trick you and just outright get you. But if you save often enough, you'll have absolutely no problem sneaking through. This video also reveals
Damn, I knew it was
the nature of some of the characters he's
when
met.
the mist started whirling, I told the boys it's Geralt of Rivia.
There's a
My name is
Nilfgaardian
Roach.
spire too that
Friend of
he's
yours.
met in this
Just found
chapter
him.
already
He
in
was already
this
dead.
part,
Interesting.
or this
Just
video
like a
kind of
Almost made it through the fog.
clearly just says
What's your business here?
who's working for who at this point.
Triss is somewhere nearby.
Still looking for your sorceress.
But yeah,
She
the
came
main
here,
reason
I know
Geralt's
about it.
here is to look for Triss and get some of Henselt's blood.
She's got to be here. Philippa Eilhart located her.
Well, it seems you met the whole menagerie. Will you abandon them too when things get hot? You made your choice. Fled with the elves while Vess
So
almost
yeah,
died
I
at
guess
that horse in Laredo's house.
the actual part where you speak to Henselt is basically at the very end of the video.
I'm not one of your men, Roach. I didn't betray you.
And
I didn't
I
say
guess
that.
everything up until then would
But
just
you
be
thought
the
it.
quest.
You and your
where
men
is
against
Triss
the whole
Marigold, and
world.
then that
Those
last
not
little
on your
part would be
side are
Royal
against
Blood.
you.
Don't you care about Voltaire's death anymore?
The assassin kidnapped Triss, remember? Help me find
So
her, and
once
I promise I'll
Geralt
keep the
and
word I
Roach
gave you in the
stop
dungeons of
arguing
Lavalette
with each
Castle.
other about who's in the right and what they did back in
I don't know
Flotsam,
why I'm doing this.
we can get on to the sneaking part.
Right. If Triss is anywhere in the area, it can only be one place. At the rear, near the riverbank. the
Yeah, I
Nilfgaardians
wouldn't
have
say
set up
the
their
stealth
camp.
sections of this game
Nobody
were the
can enter it.
best, but
You
they
can get
were
there either via
better
some
than a lot of
caves or
other
by
games
sneaking
who
through
put
the
a
main
stealth,
camp.
who put
That's
some
good.
attempts of stealth
Believe it or
mechanics
not,
in them.
The whorehouse is where you need to go to enter the caves.
You actually have
The
options
ladies
to do
thought they'd use
stuff.
that
It's not
passage to
just
service
you
the
don't
knights
have
and
weapons
nobles.
anymore. It's you can actually
Some
knock out
monsters have
guards
their
and
lairs there. If you've had your fill
put
of
out torches
dwarves
so
and
it's harder
monsters,
for
to the
people to
east,
see
there's a
you.
path
and
that leads along the riverbank.
you can use the
That'll get you near
cat
the
potions,
canteen.
which give you
You'll have to sneak the rest of the way from
basically
there.
X-ray vision.
Thanks, Roach.
Hey, I'll hold you to your promise.
Whereas most games just make you sneak around where you don't have a weapon
What's the fucking meaning of this?
and you have no tools at your disposal. This game actually gave you some stuff.
Take that.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. But before we go to get to the part where we start sneaking through Henselt's military camp, we need to check out an abandoned house that has some manuscripts or random scribbles that we will need for something in chapter 3. It's basically a respec option, or probably the most difficult fight in the entire game. So it'd be, I guess, wise to pick up, because if you went down, especially if you went down a path, an upgrade path that you didn't want to go on, this gives you like one last chance, like right before the final boss, to respend all the talent points you had accumulated so far, and it can be handy. So here's the abandoned house. If you've gone through Roach's path, these are the manuscripts that Death Mode tries to buy off of you. And if you don't sell him the manuscripts, you can actually go through with what I was talking about earlier. If you didn't go through Roach's path, you don't. No one ever tries to buy this off of you. What you just saw was actually a code to open up a secret door in the cellar here. So these things that you can, these candles that you can light, they have symbols. You can see that was a down arrow. I can't see that one. That's a diamond, and this is an up arrow, I believe. If you get that combination wrong, a wraith will show up and try to kill you, and then you try again. Yeah, I don't think it's possible to read that. I can't remember. There's kind of like an ancient set of notes you find that's apparently just really simple, like the encryption on like it's something that you can figure out by hand, but I can't remember. I think there's 2 sets of notes you find, and one of them can be decrypted easily, and the other one is complete gibberish. I don't remember which is which. So now is the time when we actually do the sneaking. But first, well, obviously we can't walk through the front door. Actually, if you try to walk through the front door, one of the guards just tells you to go home. He doesn't know who you are, and he just says you can't come in. He doesn't try to kill you. He doesn't send people after you, thankfully. Also, don't run around with your weapon openly drawn too close to the tent with all the prostitutes. People will start freaking out. So, right about here, yeah, here's where we find the passageway to sneak in. Not so much of a passageway as it is just a path that if you don't notice, it's very difficult. It's really easy. I found it really easy to miss, but it might not be as simple to miss to some people. But I definitely remember spending like 5-10 minutes just trying to find this one little passageway through the cliffs. So yeah, doing this will take you down to the beach, and right, I guess just, you show up just right of the canteen or mess hall, whatever the proper term for the military place where you get your food. So at this point, everything that happens is on a set path, so if you save at this point and mess something up, yeah, just reload and it should all be fine.
And hey, in the barn she really looks fresh. No matter the stench, the sweat.
So yeah, I want to kind of follow this incredibly drunk guard and make sure not to get seen by the guy that walked in front of him, but I was pretty far back when that happened, so yeah, there's also a lot of random stuff to loot here, and I do that as well. So yeah, you want to walk behind the blacksmith's tent. If you walk in front of it, the blacksmith will see you. The game will also autosave at some points. Now here's the first time that the game tries to trick you into running out in the open. There are, I believe, 6 guards that walk through here, but they're all very staggered in their timing, or like the last 2 are. See, like you think it's good, but no. Okay, so there's only 5. I thought there were 6.
When we go into battle, I'm ready to face the Virgin of Edirn herself.
Yeah, that was an armor enhancement I picked up that I don't think I ever use, but yeah, don't get caught by him either.
Look out! Don't get too close to him.
The next major thing is the guy cooking up here. He'll freak out if you don't do something quick enough. This is just literally mash the left mouse button until
you work too hard.
he decides to stop trying to scream for help, and he doesn't care about you for the rest of your little stay here. Now there's one guard right past this door. Make sure to knock him out, just in case. Now you're clear. There are no more guards you have to deal with. Now we go into the caves and deal with monsters. Much more fun. And there's some stuff you can find here. There's some cool stuff. It's a free set of armor. A lot of rock fiends. Bulvor, I believe, is in here somewhere. As well, an elemental is kicking around. Elementals are pretty big lumbering enemies. I believe it's an earth elemental, so it just looks like a giant rock man going around. There's a lot of rock fiends. If you just want to run through the caves here and not really deal with like the Bulvor or anything, you don't have to go through the side passages like I do. Yeah, using the rock fiends against each other in battle is a really good idea. So if you can do it, go for it, especially if you're having trouble fighting them, because they're pretty quick. They hit you really hard. So this is the first, I guess, side branch of the cave here. Nothing major, a couple more rock fiends. I do believe a Bulvor's down here. I believe that's the first time I filled up, the adrenaline meter. When you get high enough into an upgrade tree, you get access to the adrenaline bar. Now what that does is when it fills up, you hit X on your keyboard, or it might be, I don't know, like clicking the right thumbstick or something on a 360 controller, and you enter this pre-made animation where you instantly kill 1 to 3 enemies. Not bosses, just standard enemies. So if you're surrounded by a whole bunch of people and that's full, you hit the button and you basically just watch them die. And there are always cool little scenes that they show where it shows that Geralt is clearly stronger than like everything he fights. Except for maybe like the final boss of the game, and Letho, who is a Witcher, like another one. So yeah, a lot of reason this video is so long, so I go through this cave thoroughly and get free armor that's better than what I currently have. Just because free armor is free armor, just take it. Yeah, this is the Bulvor. So yeah, that was the adrenaline meter. That's what it does when it's filled. And you can get an upgrade so that it refills with like every sword hit, or it fills up a percentage of it with every sword hit. So it's a pretty handy tool if you do a lot of fighting at once. I believe if you enter a town or like a non-hostile area, I believe your adrenaline meter may drain, or it's saved between encounters. I don't remember the exact conditions for it, but there are times where I've seen it kind of, not exactly mysteriously empty, but it might even just be like a thing that's constantly kept track of until you like save and quit kind of thing. So much loot in this place. Yeah, we're over halfway through this cave, so don't worry, it's almost good. But there is a lot of stuff here, and it's an RPG, so take everything. As long as you can actually carry it and aren't encumbered. I'm so thankful they added the universal storage bin back in a patch. That was probably the best thing that they did with the updates to this game, aside from like game stability and stuff. Because I definitely remember the storage bins were in The Witcher 1, and when I first played The Witcher 2 back in like 2011 when it came out, is probably one of the first things I did as soon as I got into a major town was look for that bin, and it wasn't there. I was actually a little sad. But it made a little bit of sense at the same time. It made so like you can't really keep like 10 swords, and you can't keep 10 swords in like an inventory stack or something. Is your equipment is like your equipment. You don't carry multiple sets of swords aside from your one steel and your one silver. And you don't carry a lot of, you don't really carry armor either. I mean, when you make the boss armor and stuff, yeah, you just kind of want to keep it because it looks really neat. Oh, so it isn't an elemental, it's a golem. They're practically the same creature to a point. They have the same movements and patterns and attacks. Might even have the same stats. So yeah, the armor Banar that I just found there, that's the free armor that I believe I'll put on. It's not bad armor. You can find it for free in Roach's Path as well. I believe I do use this armor until the end of the chapter, and probably a decent amount of the third. I know where I can get some free armor in chapter 3 as well. So yeah, I'm going to cut off here for a little bit because there's some story stuff, and I'll be back afterwards.
Efkir Nordling, where do you think you're going?
To see the ambassador.
With all that steel on your back?
Have you seen a red-headed sorceress anywhere?
You didn't seem to understand my delicate suggestion, Nordling. Drop your sword.
I'm not looking for trouble.
Shillard Fitz-Estelin is waiting.
Metnara Rabba. Geralt, I'd hoped we wouldn't meet again.
We caught him sneaking through the camp, Excellency. We disarmed him.
Esther Garamnith. I remember you telling Foltest you'd like to return to hunting monsters.
Foltest is dead. Some still believe it's my fault. I have to find the real killer.
I see. You may be a killing machine, but a murderer's infamy is bad for business.
Triss Marigold was kidnapped.
Foltest's advisor. I heard she arrived at Vergen and hoped we would meet, but if she was kidnapped... Now I understand why you couldn't just stand by. But there are other reasons too. They told me you were in league with the Squirtown, with Iorveth himself no less. Is this true?
More or less.
Have you heard of the slaughter of Enshe at the ravine of the Hydra? The kings of the north effectively forced the Empire to condemn and execute the war criminals of the Vryhed Brigade. Iorveth was among those condemned.
September 13th, 1269. The ravine of the Hydra. Following the Peace of Sintra, 53 officers of the Vryhed Brigade were brought here and executed, their throats cut. The elves' bodies were dropped into the chasm. I don't know what the riders of the hunt were looking for. November 23rd, 1269. Sintra, the village of Coldwater, and another victim of the hunt. An 11-year-old boy. His parents didn't even ask if he had a chance. I'm tired. February 24th, 1270. A high pass in the Armouche Mountains. An imperial manticore, one of the world's oldest and deadliest monsters. I used to feel excitement at moments like this. Now the beast is only an obstacle on my way. Its meat and hot blood will help me survive this icy hell. May 30th, 1270. The Iruga River. The hunt continues to race south. Since I've been following them, they've taken 23 individuals, all between the ages of 10 and 20. All except for Yennefer.
Amusing that the Scoia'tael believe the Emperor betrayed them. In fact, the kings of the North demanded the massacre at the Ravine of the Hydra. You feel well?
I feel fine.
I'm sorry, I can't give you more of my time. The long road to Loch Muin awaits me. The Council and the Conclave are waiting, and Triss Merigold, as always, arrives in the nick of time.
What are you talking about?
The figurine. He must have it on him.
What's the meaning of this?
I want to introduce someone to you. This is Vanamar, my personal sorcerer. He sensed Triss approaching our camp, though she was to arrive in different company. Before you die, Witcher, would you be so kind as to explain how you got your hands on this figurine?
Triss, what have you done to her?
She'll be all right, Geralt. She can't hear, see, or feel, but she is alive. Triss will help us find those wenches that betrayed the Empire. I don't know whether you killed Talvik or found him dead, it's irrelevant now. I'd prefer not to sentence to death a man previously pardoned by the Emperor himself. Unfortunately, I have no choice. Vanamar, once you're done with him, convey my congratulations to Cynthia. Leading Philippa Eilhart up the garden path is no small feat. Farewell, Witcher.
This is a good place. Are you ready, Geralt of Rivia?
Plow yourself, Nilfgaardian.
Your words mean nothing now.
Alright, so now that Roach has successfully saved you from being killed, kill everyone in the camp. All the Nilfgaardians. I believe you do have your steel sword here. Your silver one, maybe. It's either in your inventory or on the ground somewhere. I remember something kind of funky happening with the equipment. I do not believe Roach and Vess can die in this situation, which is really handy because there's a lot of dudes here. And I believe if you really piss off Roach when you first show up here, I don't believe he actually helps you in the fight. I think you just have to fight everyone off yourself. So yeah, I say focus on the wizard, because it's an RPG, always kill the wizard first. And Roach and Vess will take care of all the standard melee fighters. And since they can't die, it's not that big of a deal. Also, the wizard can heal himself. So if you're gonna fight him, just chase him down. I got pretty lucky here, and I didn't have to deal with any of the normal fighters because Vess and Roach just took all the heat from them immediately. The wizards in this game like to teleport a lot, especially after they've been hurt. So you need to follow them, especially because they might hit you in the back with a fireball if you're not paying attention. I can't even get in at that point. My spells hit Roach and nothing happened. So I think I just go around and loot the place. I'm just taking armor at this point just because. Oh, I do replace my armor. Really quickly, actually. Well, the armor Banard was still free, so pick it up and sell it or something. Or throw it in your storage bin. There we go.
Just like the good old days. Having killed a Nilfgaardian for years. I knew you'd get in
Roach
trouble.
sounded way too happy when he said that, I'll be completely honest.
Shillard has Triss. He's taking her to Loch Muin.
Now I
So,
understand the commotion.
now you know where.
Ambassador Shillard kidnaps
I guess you
Foltest's
kind of knew where
former
Triss was
advisor.
before, but
This
you
stinks
continue
for
to know
a
where
look.
Triss Marigold is.
It would seem the Nilfgaardians want to be present at the Conclave's restoration.
Loch Muin is the location of the final chapter in the game for both paths. So
What will happen at Loch Muin?
Apparently, a lot
Yeah,
more
don't
than I
worry.
thought. Sheila
You're
managed
not-
to locate the killer
chapter
squad.
2 is
They were
where
hiding
the
nearby in the
really
gully.
big split happened in
Deathmold sent his men there, but
this game.
Foltest's killer fled. Two
Third
other
chapter,
victims were
everything
recovered.
starts to kind of come
One
back
was
together.
taken alive. Before he died,
It's
he was
just
tortured.
in Iorveth's path
Revealed
you
that
have
our
some
bruiser
restrictions
went to
that
Loch
you
Muin.
don't have on Roaches
The
for
mages want to
chapter 3.
resurrect the council and the
But it's
conclave
nothing
that once
special. You're
represented
not
all the
missing
sorcerers and
anything in
sorceresses
chapter
of the
3 with one or the
King
other.
Radovid, the ruler of Redania,
Aside from
is
the
also
specific
invited.
quests that
As Loch
relate
Muin
to
lies
the
in
state of the
Kedwin,
world
Henselt is likely to arrive too.
that
The
the
Nilfgaardian
game
delegation.
currently has.
Triss, Nilfgaard, Radovid, a bunch of mages and the Kingslayer. Too many eggs in that basket.
So
One more thing.
we
Roach.
still need to
I
get
need
the
to
blood
see
from
Henselt.
Henselt here,
Why?
which you get to do.
You think I want to kill him?
If I thought you were a Kingslayer...
Crap! I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
I hope I won't regret it.
So yeah,
Henselt should
Roach
be in
here
his
will
tent.
actually
I'll
help
distract
you
the guards,
distract a
then it's
couple
up
of the
to you.
guards.
I owe you, Vernon.
Not sure how helpful it is, but it's helpful enough.
Ready?
Give me a moment. I want to search Shillard's camp.
Hurry up.
Yeah, if you tell Roach to wait a couple minutes, you have the option to continue to search the camp, and if you take it, you can find some interesting things about who is working for Nilfgaard and who isn't. And you also find a book about the Wild Hunt. Really helpful. Well, kind of. It's more of a thematic thing. I mean, hell, The Witcher 3 is just called The Wild Hunt. I think it's just about Geralt just trying to track them down and, I guess, kill them or find people. Yeah, I don't remember what that... yeah, right there. You find out Philippa Eilhart's assistant mage, Cynthia, is actually a Nilfgaardian spy, who's the real apprentice of the mage that you just killed here. So now we're ready to actually go talk to Henselt. I don't believe you can actually kill him here.
Ready and waiting.
Probably better that you don't. Geralt's already wanted for regicide. The last thing you need is to actually kill a king. So, this is the last little bit of sneaking. So, to be honest, I was maybe a little unnecessarily confused about what to do here. It's actually really simple.
Hey, you,
I just didn't realize what I had to do.
Those Nilfgaardians are beating up our lads.
What? Our sons will
Yeah,
regret
I'm
that.
also just looting some stuff. So yeah, Roach takes the few soldiers there away. And you have a little more free reign. There's still a couple guards in front of Henselt's tent that you will distract as well. But now there's even less people to deal with. So yeah, Henselt's tent is the one with the really big awning, I guess. It's not a vestibule. So yeah, what I thought I remembered was I thought you came in from the back of the tent. And so I'm kind of wandering around trying to remember what to do. And what you have to do is you cast the Ard sign on the stack of barrels that was to the right of Henselt's tent. I actually looked at it and didn't realize that's what I was supposed to do. I do get some more stuff. Those guards are not particularly aware of what's going on, but I think you can practically walk up to them and they won't realize what's happening. Destroying the barrels will actually set them off and will make them kind of go trying to investigate. But all you have to do is knock over the barrels and then go back around. Like, just go around the tent the opposite way, and that's all you have to do. So, I'm going to cut it off here. Hope you enjoyed. Oh, I'll see you all later.
Who are you? Have you come to kill me?
I'm here for your blood.
You sneak in here like a villain and you want my blood? Fight me and try to spill it.
Calm down, Your Highness. I need only a drop.
Who are you?
Geralt of Rivia.
Foltest's favorite witcher. I've heard of you. Why do you need my blood?
Saskia, the Virgin of Aedirn, was poisoned. Royal blood is one of the antidote's ingredients.
What superstitious nonsense! The wench wants royal blood! She should bite Stennis Eddin's heir in the arse.
Listen, Your Highness. Give me your blood voluntarily, or I'll open your veins myself. I prefer the first choice. It would work out better for both of us. If I spill your blood myself, I'll have to break through the entire camp again. Who knows, maybe one of your soldiers will get lucky and kill me.
I sincerely hope so, Satchel-mouth.
But then the Wraith's mist will hang on the border until your knights become weary of warring.
What are you talking about? You know how to open the way for my army?
Yes, but I can't do it dead.
You'll get my blood. But promise you'll disperse the mist?
You have my word, King.
remember our deal. My men will lead you out of the camp. I wouldn't want one of the soldiers to get lucky. Tell me, though, how did you pass the mist?
I'm a witcher.
Then I need an army of ploughing witchers.
Finally, you're back. Where is Triss?
The Nilfgaardians have taken her to Loch Muin.
What?
They cast a spell on her, turned her into a figurine.
Artifact compression. They must have a powerful mage.
They had.
Without him, Shillard won't be able to lift the spell. However, Loch Muin will be full of sorcerers.
That's not all. They got Triss because of Cynthia.
Cynthia?
She lied to you.
Back to Vergen, at once! Plague, I was so foolish. Cherish this rare moment, Witcher. Philippa Eilhart's been had by a cheap Nilfgaardian bitch. When I find her, we'll have it out like never before. She'll regret her mother didn't abort her.
Wait, the Rose of Remembrance is gone.
Not necessarily. That viper, Cynthia, was in a hurry and left her bric-a-brac. Ah yes, here it is. Triss Merigold's Rose of Remembrance. Time is running out, Geralt. This flower is dying.
Then what are we waiting for?